understanding even of themselves. So for those who are leading Bond today, I imagine that is how you came into broadcasting too. But now you have got to a level where you are leaders of this communication effort. And that is why the responsibility for dealing with hate speech now belongs to you. Let us never forget that we are voluntarily working together on objectives that we share. So what is it that separates us then? If all of these things are the bonds that bind us, what is it that separates us? What is it that can make it possible for someone to address another person with hate speech? Okay, for today, I can say between you and me, I'm a former generation, all right? So the present generation can say there's a difference between us. Your time has gone. You're a recycled person and so on, okay? We can also say that for administrative reasons, we've broken the country into states and local governments and so on, so we come from different local governments. Our personal preferences may not be in line with one another, and so on and so forth. But also, let us remember that the thing that slows us down, and makes us limp behind technological development is that each one of us has an ego that must be fed. We're feeding our ego all the time. And for no just reason, you want to prove to yourself that you're better than somebody else. You want to prove to yourself that you are thinking more straight or more whatever it is than someone else. And so when we see a little difference, it becomes a big issue, and we address each other with all kinds of hate speeches. And the question that I would like all people to ask themselves is, when you discover that there's a real difference between me and you, I'm older than you are, or something else, how does that translate into the kind of conflict in your heart, conflict in your mind that makes you express yourself in hate speech? Because remember, if this country, if this nation does not provide each one of us with the right environment for personal expression, personal success, personal productivity, we've lost the game. So my suggestion, Chairman, is this: that the broadcast industry should help us always to remember why we're doing the things we're doing. It is so easy to allow sensationalism, things that sound very powerful when you express them. It's so easy to allow these things to mislead us into thinking that that is what life is all about. No, what life is about is that today, whatever it is that I want to do to be successful, I should be able to do it without harming anybody else's freedom, ability to express themselves. Indeed, I should be able to do it so that when they express themselves and I express myself, the result is truly impressive. Because I want to tell you something, and the chairman of INEC has already told us, if we are not working together, if we're working at cross purposes, then nothing will happen. Democracy itself requires us to be working together. It requires us to organize ourselves in such a way that we are working together. So hate speech. Hate speech comes because, in my view, we do not give sufficient thought to the real objectives of our being here. Because if you think about it, if we engage each other in hate speech, those who are listening to this, those who are listening to us address ourselves in this manner, does that increase their respect for us? Does it increase their admiration for us? Does it make them feel that we are responsible people? So if we're actually losing our image, losing our identity by engaging in hate speech, doesn't it make good sense that we should pause and ask ourselves, what should we be doing that should be different? And my suggestion this morning is that we address this with what I call the VIP treatment. The VIP treatment in this presentation is like this. First, every single one of us is able to adopt some values that will lead us in this life. And it is from those values that we develop the attitudes and even the actions that we take. For example, if one of my values is that I respect someone else's space and property. You know, I learned that value when I was a little child. In the village, you were walking with your uncle to the farm and you saw piles of plantain and firewood and things on the road. And you walked through the thing and you were coming back in the afternoon and those piles of plantain and firewood had gone down. But with each reduced pile, you found some coins. Did you ever have that experience? You people are Lagos people, you don't know village life. You found some coins, half penny, 1 penny, threepence, and so on. And you walked past these piles of plantain and money without touching them. Because you knew they belonged to somebody else. You knew that it was the owner of the plantain that was also entitled to the money. And the culture was that you just passed by. If you wanted to buy plantain, you bought some and put the coin there and walked away. Today, plus the plantain, plus the owner. But how did we get there? Yes, it's funny, but how did we get there? You see, it is this, the loss of that particular value. The loss of that particular value is the thing that now makes us think that it is proper for us to talk to each other in any way. Our